Right, I haven't done one of these for ages, so apologies. Yeah, winter, new bike trip planned. Let's cut to the intro. See you in a sec. Right, okay, where are we? It's winter. I don't really like the winter at all. I struggle with it. I can't ride my bike. As you all know, the bike is currently situated indoors. The roads around here completely lagged in mud. We seem to have storm after storm after storm. That's kind of normal for where we are, but that's lots of branches down. It's just not great, really. So bike riding, not pleasurable. I think that's the bottom line, really, but not pleasurable. So this time of year is all about planning and planning the next trip. And even with planning, when you get to my age, is something that you kind of do, but in the back of my mind is always like, will it happen? Will it happen? Who knows? Who knows where we're going in this world? It's great at the minute, is it, for anybody? And deep sympathy goes out to loads of people who are really struggling, because I just know how tight it all is. It's just getting crazy. I don't think I've ever known a situation in my life where the world is just kind of so mixed. I want to swear, but I won't. Mixed up, lost, direction, doesn't appear to have any. Total, all kind of like everybody protesting about this, that, and the other. And without getting too political, I think if you're going to protest about something, you need to go to the country where the issue is, not outside of it. But that is political, so we'll walk away from that one straight away and talk about what is coming next for me on the motorcycle horizon. What really it's all about next year's trip. I mean, it's just, as I say, this is what this time of year is all about. It's all about planning, figuring out how to fund it, and taking particular note of the route and locations within the route that may be of interest. It's so easy to kind of fly past places and not know, what you went by. It might be historical. It might be current. It might be gastronomic. It might just be the flora and fauna. But there's loads of things to see and do, and my kind of thoughts on it really are travel slow. And that's easy for me to say, I know, because when I plan a trip, it's normally 3 weeks to a month, and not everybody's got that time. And so I appreciate you have to go. Well, I was going to say you could go quicker, but maybe you don't have to go quicker. Maybe just cut the route, go shorter, not quicker. Why fly past everything at, the limit plus, shall we say, to miss the beauty, when in actual fact, cut the trip, or the distance rather, shorter to fit in with the time that you have. If you want to go down to Spain and Portugal, obviously you've got to take a quicker route. So that's the Santander route on the ferry from wherever you're coming from, Portsmouth, or whether you come from Plymouth, wherever. If you want to take a leisurely trip down through, then you can go to Roscoff or Le Havre or anywhere like that and travel down through France, slowly taking in the ambience of the country and great, again, gastronomic delights. If you're a drinker, I'm not, but if you are, the food and drink is absolutely superb. The food is just... it's great. The roads are fantastic. They're empty. Yeah, you do have the Grand Vacances. I get that, and there is busy periods, obviously. But generally speaking, it's a much bigger country with a lot less people living in it than we've got over here. So yeah, So my next trip is planned partly. The route is kind of developing as we speak. Ferries are booked, and there's a couple of locations already pre-booked accommodation-wise. And the reason for that is because this time I'm heading down from the usual route, Plymouth Roscoff. I like that route. That's good. One way. Shoot across, cost you about 90 quid on the ferry, maybe a bit more, with a flash cabin if you want one. You're only sleeping on there. Does it matter? I'm a bit fussy these days. I kind of like a bit of comfort. However, so Plymouth Roscoff, and then slowly down through France is my plan this time, heading and really hugging the west coast until I get sort of down to about Bordeaux, and then I'll cut inland a little bit before I sort of delve across the Pyrenees, and using the Pyrenees this year not as a destination but as a crossing point into Spain. And the idea then is that I will travel down through Spain towards Madrid, taking in some sights, taking in some places I've been to before, and taking in some places I've not been to before. And the goal really on the trip this time is Portugal. I love Portugal. I spent quite a long time in Portugal previously. I love it. I love it as a country. People are fantastic. The scenery is incredible. And again, the food's not too bad. So this trip this time is going to take me down to the Jura Valley, which is the oldest wine producing region in the world, apparently. Again, as a non-drinker of alcohol, that's not the top of my list, obviously, but the actual scenery, which is incredible. And I'm really looking forward to traveling on what is supposed to be and has been documented as being possibly the best biking road in Europe, and that's the N222. Take my word for it or not, but I've done my research and it looks amazing. Google it, YouTube it, have a look. It basically runs from Spain into a westerly direction and comes out sort of just slightly south of Porto, and it looks amazing. Yeah, it's just, maybe it's a Portuguese, the Rhine. I can't see anything else that compares to it, but it looks absolutely amazing. And so that's the route that I'll be taking. And that really is the highlight of the route, the N222. And then arriving in Porto, things are slightly different this year on the trip because my daughter Chloe, she is walking the Camino again. She's walked the Camino before. Last time she walked the Camino from France into Santiago, and this time she's walking the Camino Portuguese, which is basically she's walking it from Porto up into the end, basically, again. Santiago, which I think last time she walked slightly further because she went to Santiago and she went out to the coast as well. But this time she's walking up to Santiago. And I will be meeting her up en route, which will be absolutely brilliant. And then after I sort of hit Porto and head north along the route of the Camino, I'm then going to head in sort of south of the Picos. I've dipped my toes into the Picos and it looked incredible. So this time I'm going to go right through the Picos, but coming in from a southerly direction. I'm meandering through, taking some time before I finally meet up with Chloe again in Santander, about a day before we join the ferry jointly in Santander and head back to Plymouth. So that's going to be the route this year. There will be details to follow. As you all know, I am now going to be travelling on a Triumph Thunderbird 1700cc motorcycle. The Indian is gone. And you know, I've given it lots of thought about the Indian, and I did some great trips, as you know. And if you're followers of this channel, then please do subscribe if you have not already, and follow the videos, because there's some great ones coming. I've had some great trips on that Indian. Is it the best motorcycle I've ever ridden in my life? It's up there. But I'm a great believer now that it's not necessarily the make, it's the very fact that you can travel on a motorcycle and just enjoy. So if you say that, then really motorcycling and traveling is all about fitting into your budget. here's a little bow come to have a little say. It's all about fitting into your budget. So to travel like I've been doing, you do not have to have a motorcycle that costs in excess of 25,000. You can buy a motorcycle for 7 to 10,000 or less if you want to buy, something secondhand that's got a good history. I mean, bikes that spring to mind, Royal Enfields, I mean, it's just incredible. But there's lots more on the market that you could use to travel. So I think really when we come to the fact that we all kind of go, Triumph's the best, Indian's the best, Harley's the best, it really is all about what you get from the motorcycle and how you enjoy it. And at the end of the day, you're sitting on a motor which is taking you from A to B on the most delightful routes. And if that's the case, then really, does it matter what make a motorcycle it is? I mean, reliability comes into force, obviously, I appreciate that. And we'll see how we get on this year with the Triumph. So far, I am absolutely loving that motorcycle. It's ticking all the boxes. It is really ticking all the boxes. So that's it, basically. That's what's going to be happening. That's what's going to be coming next. And loads of videos to come. There's a little bit of a surprise video coming up this next week. Not saying too much more about that. You need to subscribe and you need to follow to find out what that's going to be. But I can tell you now that it's going to be to bike riders or those interested in starting bike riding. This is going to be a very, very interesting video coming up this next week with lots of great ideas. I'm saying no more. Tune in, watch it. Okay. For now, take care. And see you later in a week.